right. Now you see these books up here on the piano. Now see if you can tell me which one of these master pianists was not influenced one bit by stride piano. Now over here on the left we had Bud Powell, the fantastic innovator of bebop. And he began his career being influenced by players like Fats Waller, Earl Father Hines, and in particular Art Tatum, and had a left hand that wouldn't quit. Over here we have the great Thelonious Monk, one of the great jazz composers of all times, and a very unusual piano player who, if you would listen to some of his own recordings, you'll hear everything from Fats Waller in the right hand to Count Basie's accents in the left hand. Thelonious Monk walked to school every day in New York, right past James P. Johnson's house, where he could hear the master stride player playing away. Unfortunately, Frédéric Chopin died 30 years before U.B. Blake was even born. So he's the one who was not influenced by stride piano. Now, we're going to answer a question right now from one of our YouTube viewers. How do you build a stride piano solo? Okay, well, first of all, you have to have something to work with. And what we're going to do is we're going to interpret a pop song from the era of when stride piano was in full bloom in the 1920s and the 1930s. And we'll show you some of the variations that you can do on this piece. We have chosen Maceo Pincard's great hit, Sweet Georgia Brown. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it through once for you as written, and then we'll show you some variations. Now, it's a good piece to use because Sweet Georgia Brown is comprised of 8-bar segments that every 8 bars the chord changes, but the phrase imitates the 8 bars before it until you get to the end of the piece. So let's play it as written so you get an idea of how the piece goes. Okay, that's pretty much bare bones Sweet Georgia Brown as written, done in a two-handed piano style. Now let's take some stride phrases and approaches and apply them to each one of the 8-bar segments. What I'm going to do now is, instead of playing the given melody in each 8-bar segment, I'm going to play a different type of a stride figure for each of the 8 bars, and we'll see what we can do with it. Okay, here we go. Now what I did there is each 8 bars I used a different, fairly typical stride figure in improvisation to build a different kind of a solo. Now, another way that you can approach it is, just as the given melody imitates itself and into the next chord, and the third chord, you can use a similar stride figure to go from one chord to the other that's not completely different like what I just did. So here we go. You can also take the melody in the left hand. U.B. Blake liked to do this a lot. He would rock the left hand and use the right hand as an afterbeat.